Views and opinions expressed on this show belong solely to the hosts and their guests and do not reflect the views of any outside institutions unless explicitly stated. What's going on, Canna fam? Welcome back to Cannabis Cum Laude's A Closer Look at Community. My name is Justin Closser, and my goal is to help provide a platform for the members of the local cannabis community to share what they're working on. The hope is to allow them to build their brand and expose you listeners to a larger variety of products and services. In this effort, I believe we'll be able to build a network in which we can all support each other and grow as a community. The plan is to release an episode every Wednesday. In addition, on the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to hold a community hangout virtually in collaboration with Tommy Potseed that we're going to attempt to record as well. Also, we started a Discord server called Cum Laude Community Hangout. This is a great place for members of the community to chat, ask questions, interact with each other without the fear that Mark Zuckerberg's going to put you in timeout. So without further ado, elevate your state of mind and enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude's A Closer Look at Community. This week, I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with Ashley Miller. Ashley, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. So Ashley is kind of a big deal. I don't know if you guys know, but she runs the Roc City Roots page. And she's actually had some involvement with other groups as well. I don't know if she's going to want to talk about that or not. And then she also is a beauty ambassador for The Body Shop. So we're going to try and get into Ashley's history a little bit, as much as she wants to discuss, and then kind of her ventures as well, and let you guys know what she's up to and how she can be of service to you. I don't mean to put that in like a weird way, but so give me a little bit of background about you, if you don't mind. Like throw or if you want to kind of like warm up a little bit before we get into that, that's fine too. But if you're cool with it, throw me like a little bio maybe.
Well, since this is about cannabis, I got into cannabis obviously as a teenager. Everybody experiments, and then I got clean after a while, as you so call it, and then I got cancer. And cannabis kind of saved my life. It helped me with the appetite and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what led me into the group as well. You know, during the pandemic, everybody got, depressed. We needed a little bit of light shined around, and Green Team had started, and I got involved with that. And then I decided to take a more charitable aspect and approach. And then I started Roc City Roots.
Nice. So we kind of glossed over it, and I don't want to pry too much, but your experience with cancer, is that an ongoing thing, or is that something that you have overcome?
No, it is actually an ongoing thing. I'm what they call stage 0, which I didn't even know was a thing until obviously getting cancer. That basically means that the cells are still in my body. They're just dormant and not active. Okay. But obviously at some point they will become active again. And at that point, we'll address it from there.
Scary to think about. I'm sorry that you have to experience and live with that. That is not something that I wish upon anybody. Quite honestly, even my greatest enemy. It's so tough, right? When you want to say like uncurable. I'm one of those people who honestly thinks that there's a cure out there, and that it just pays better to treat it than cure it. So we better keep that hush hush. But in any event, it's still like, as far as society would consider uncurable, that is in rare, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like miracle cases, people are able to completely kick this thing out of their body, right? And so that's got to be pretty motivating to like have this kind of daunting thing over you to like, I don't know. I'm not trying to get gloomy on the show, so we're going to take a different direction here in just a minute. But it's for having such a daunting thing. I guess my whole point is like, I've never seen anything come from you other than optimism. And that is, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a rare thing to find these days as well, which is kind of what drew me to your page, Roc City Roots. I honestly don't, I think it was Tommy Potseed. I think he kind of turned me onto the page and then brought me over there. And ever since I've been there, I've been loving it. So I've been like itching to get you on the show. I know we got a little bit of shyness sometimes, but that's okay. So you mentioned COVID a little bit, but was there any other inspiration behind starting Roc City Roots?
Yeah, actually, changing the stigma. Like, obviously, when everybody thinks about stoner, they think, low life, loser, deadbeat, pothead, whatever. And it's just a lot of negative association. And with this group, I want to prove to people, especially the local community, that, obviously stoners are good people. We're charitable people. We're loving people. We're a family. And with Roc City Roots, it shows that, because everybody in this group, we are like a family and we consider each other family. And that's really what I want to do, is just change the stigma.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really identify with that, because that's honestly a lot of my motivation for the podcast in itself. I like to think I'm a relatively intelligent person, and I also know for a fact that I consume probably more cannabis than anybody really should. But I'm fairly successful with it, right? And so like my whole thing is like, you can be what a lot of people would consider a burnout and like beyond a deadhead. Even like, I don't honestly really listen to the Grateful Dead. I'm sorry for anybody who finds that repulsive that I say that, but like if I did listen to the Dead, I would probably be like one of their hardest Deadhead fans. You know what I mean? So just as a classification. And so that type of person can be successful, and that type of person can be loving, giving, caring. And actually, I would argue more so. I think that stoners are more caring. I could be quoted saying to my buddy Steve, cannabis may not be able to save the world. It may not be able to make it a perfect place, but it definitely will make it a better place, because even when assholes smoke, they become a little bit less of an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, so talk to me kind of about how Roc City Roots works. I mean, I more so talk to the listeners about how Roc City Roots works. Like what one of the things I think is really cool, I guess we can start off here, is your daily tags, if you will. You've got like a catchphrase for every day. Do those change week by week, or are they the same? I haven't been able to pay close enough attention, truthfully.
They actually are the same, and the group helped me come up with them. It wasn't like an alone effort. Obviously, Small Business Saturdays was just kind of a given, but Smoking Buddy Sundays came from a member. I changed Mondays. It was something for Mondays, and I changed it to Money Making Mondays, but like Turn Up Tuesdays was somebody else, and then Wake and Bake Wednesday was somebody else, and the Treat Yourself Thursday. It was all kind of a group effort to come up with, something different for each day of the week.
So are those like, then do you kind of have like an overarching theme for, I mean, or are they just kind of catchy taglines? You know what I mean? Because to me, it seems like you seem to kind of flow with a general direction for each post. Like definitely for Feeling Myself Fridays, that's 100% like, show me your selfies, right? Which is a really cool thing. And you can get a lot of people to feel good about themselves and like feel like people want to see a picture of them, right? And like, I don't know, it's that to me is really cool. Can you talk about maybe if there's like any of the other days that have a specific sort of motive?
Obviously, Small Business Saturdays is one of the biggest. It's
okay, Ashley. Sorry, we got a little bit cut off there. Can you? We were talking about the motivation behind some of the days, or not motivation, but if there's like a motive or a specific direction you take some of the other days besides Feeling Myself Friday.
Yeah, with Small Business Saturdays, it gives everybody that's in the group an opportunity if they have like a side hustle or a small business, that they're doing, they're able to post it up in the group, and you never know who your next client or customer is going to be. So it really gives everybody that kind of outlet to get their thing around, whether it be a hobby or an actual business, either way, it's an outlet for them. So that's a big deal too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I it's kind of a very similar process behind kind of what I'm trying to do with this segment of the show, right? And like really just highlight what other people are doing. And because if other members of the community don't know, then they're not going to be able to reach out and use those services or whatever. I keep coming back to
Right, right.
services. It's such a weird word for me because like it's the right word, but like
It
it,
is, but
it
it isn't, because there is quite a few resources within the group. Like we do the grocery wheel every month. I do that grocery wheel, and I raffle off $25 of groceries for those in need. And I do post frequently so that the members of the group, they know if they're in need. They can always reach out, and if I have it, I help out. There's also other members in the group who are always there to help out. And again, rooting back to the family, Roc City Roots coming full circle. We're just, one big family.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So you kind of the grocery wheel kind of is a nice segue into um the next kind of thing that I wanted to get into with the page, that you frequently have, and other people as well on the page will post like activities or contests or things for lack of a better word, giveaways, which are termed fairy bags, which are pretty freaking awesome. I've been on the receiving end of these a couple times and couldn't be happier. What kind of like, I don't know, what inspired that idea? You know what I mean? Like I know coming together as a family, helping showcase people, that's all already really admirable words, right? Um, what sparked that? Like, what made you think like, oh, we should do this? Or like, was it kind of like a marketing thing, if you will, or is it? I don't know.
Actually, no, that's not something that I can even take credit for. Way back when COVID first started, it was actually Cassandra Casarino had started a group with another group of ladies, and I wasn't actually a part of that group. And then another group stemmed off of that group, which was Green Team, and then I was in that, and then Green Team spun off, and then it had kind of slowed down a lot. COVID kind of was getting better. Everybody was doing more things with their life, getting back to work, etc. And then I kind of just went off on my own and decided to just do Roc City Roots. But I can't really take credit for the fairy bag thing. That was totally Cassandra and those ladies who started that original group, and I kind of bit off of them. I didn't really have a better name for it. It's a goodie bag, fairy bag. It's, we kind of are little wheat fairies, so it works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that, giving credit where credit's due. That's a really admirable thing to do as well. Because you could have easily just been like, oh, this is what I did. Yeah, anyway, the point I want to put on there before we get too far off the subject is like, don't just come on here trying to like just jump in. I mean, if you need to, fine, but it's also really nice to also, if you're on the receiving end, to then turn around and try to be on the giving end in some fashion. I mean, we understand that not everybody is financially well off or have extra money laying around by any means, but like maybe you got a piece you haven't hit in 3 years that you could clean it out and somebody else could benefit from it more than you, or anything simple like that. If you make some kind of brownies, I mean, people will like that. Anything really, like, it's just nice to give back to the community, and it's a better feeling to give than to receive a lot of times, right? And it's so cliche to say, but it's so true.
Agreed.
So you were talking to me before how like really the main inspiration for the page is kind of charity work, to like kind of really give back to the community. And like a lot of these raffles end up being Not always. A lot of times they're fun. And raffle was the wrong word. Contest, giveaway, whatever you may have it. Raffle is not the proper word. But a lot of them end up being like, maybe not a lot of. The one that I liked the best was the one where you were like, hey, give to any charity you want and you'll get entered into this contest, right? And
okay,
yeah. So like that's really awesome, right? And like especially for a group like Recovery Always that you were sponsoring for the one that I'm specifically thinking of. That's awesome, right? Those are people who are essentially 99% of the time they have their backs turned on by the community, right?
Correct.
And they're really the people who kind of like need the most help, because chances are if they're not going to be able to receive some kind of help getting lifted back up and being welcomed back into society, they're just going to turn right back into whatever it was they're trying to recover from to begin with, right? And so I thought that was really awesome, and I wanted to make sure I made mention to that. And I am in the future going to have any giveaways that I host are probably going to be charity driven like that, because that was like, I've always been trying to come up with these silly ideas and I never really like them, and I like that one, so I'm going to do that moving forward. I think you froze. I hope I didn't lose you.
No, I'm still here. Can you still see me and hear me, or am I frozen for you?
You were frozen, but I could hear you. You're back now. We're good.
Okay. All right, good. With those, like the charity things, obviously, like I use like different local people, like Taylor Winslow right now was raising money for his grandfather for a grant that he couldn't get. And, you know, in order to get people to donate into, you know, somebody local that's a part of the group, I gave them incentive. Each month I do a charity raffle wheel. So if you donate into Raw Recovery, or if you donate into, you know, St. Joe's, or even the Cancer Society, or All for Pets, you know, whatever your charity choice may be, you get entered onto that wheel. So I'll use that, you know, hey, if you donate locally, you'll get double the incentives. And then each month I choose one grand prize winner and 2 runner-up prizes, and they get, you know, prizes for donating, and everybody gets entered into the wheel that makes that donation.
Nice. That's cool. It is really cool too that you're like open to, it doesn't have to be a specific charity, because some people might, for whatever reason, have an objection to the specific one you're going to. So it's nice that it can be like, oh, hey, I really would rather give back to, I don't know, horses or something of that nature. You know what I mean? Like whatever they're passionate about. So it's nice. The other thing I really wanted to get into, unless actually, is there anything else that you would like to say about the Roc City Roots page before we move on to the body shop?
We do make difference. Obviously, a big thing with the group is making a difference in the local community. And I do want to touch base on the fact that St. Joe's was trying to raise money for their furnace, and it had broke down at the beginning of summer. And I'm pretty sure last I checked, they met that goal. And it's not just because of us, but it's, you know, partly because we banded together with the rest of the community, and they were able to reach that goal to get that furnace. And, you know, even if you're not canna friendly and you're family oriented, the group is for you. Just the giveaways, they're not all weed related. You know, it's for everyone. I definitely want to put that out there.
Oh, definitely. 100%. I'm obviously my show is a weed show. So I didn't make a good point to highlight that. So I'm glad that you did. This is 1,000,000% Roc City Roots. It's not Roc City weed. Like, it's weed friendly, but like, that's it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you are also a beauty ambassador for the body shop. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that means?
Being a beauty ambassador means that I'm supposed to kind of show and teach people that you don't need to be an Instagram model in order to be, you know, beautiful. You don't need to have the looks of a CoverGirl magazine, or, you know, a Maybelline model, or a Victoria's Secret model, if you will. You can be your plain Jane, everyday, average, no eyebrow, have an ass like me, having to pencil them on, and you can still do it, you know? And it's to spread the word about natural beauty, cruelty-free beauty, you know, and being a community fair trade company. And that's one of my biggest things with the body shop. Obviously, with Roc City Roots, I'm very charitable, and having the idea of being involved with a company that is community fair trade, that we get our ingredients from certain places and we give back to those communities as well. You know, it's really important to me at the heart.
Absolutely. That's that's I'm sorry. I'm like, my throat's getting all caught up. This blunt hit me weird.
Okay.
So the body shop itself, like, what, I'm sure people could go ahead and just go Google it, but can you give me like a 100-foot overview of the, what they are, what they offer?
Sure.
Yeah.
First things first is that everybody always thinks MLM, you know, and I did first as well myself. We are a certified B Corp. Again, we are community fair trade, but we are also a 100% vegan and 100% vegetarian company. By 2023, we will be 100% vegan, and our package will be more sustainable. It'll be recyclable. We are all about giving back to the community. It's, again, cruelty-free beauty. We don't test on animals. You know, it's kind of leading against the other beauty companies in the industry and that kind of thing. And it's not just beauty products, you know, it's hair care products, it's shower products, it's feet products, it's hand products, it's, you name it, we have it. Greens, beans, ham, all of it.
Beautiful. I didn't know that. I really thought it was just like mostly beauty, cosmetic type things. So eye opener for me. So if somebody wanted to be able to, get a hold of you for that stuff, what's the best way to reach you for the body shop? And like, you brought up MLM. I wasn't even thinking that. I thought that it was just, you were a rep for somebody. So
that was my first thought, though, signing up with it, honestly, like, you know, learning about it. I was like, well, it's an MLM, yeah, but it turned out a lot different.
Well, so that means that people could, in theory, sign up to do this as well, right? So is that a thing, or am I fabricating that?
No,
that
that
something?
is a thing. You can actually get paid to shop.
Sweet. That sounds great. So any of you people who are sustainable and natural and beautiful, talk to Ashley if you got a few spare minutes and you want to make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah, just hit my DMs.
Whoa, are we allowed to say that? I'm gonna put this on Oh no, this is going on YouTube. Never mind. It's just that was a Mark Zuckerberg joke. I'm sorry. He you know, I was banning everybody for, you know, looking left
all the
days.
time. I got banned for 72 hours on Facebook because I said that somebody's edibles were going to leave me broke and fat. So I bullied myself and I got kicked off for 72 hours. I'm not kidding.
Do you see some of this shit that people say to each other on Facebook, and you got kicked off for that?
You see some of the stuff that be popping up in like the Craigslist for sale? It's horrible, graphic, and I cannot believe that people can get away with what they get away with, but then I get banned because I said I'm going to be broke and fat. I mean, okay.
Well, heaven forbid. Facebook was just trying to tell you you're not allowed to let that be a thing.
Right.
Anyway, is there anything else that you want to get into as far as the body shop goes?
No, I think we touched base on quite a bit.
Cool. Anything else as far as the world or Ashley's brain goes?
No, not too much. Cool. Definitely join the group. If you haven't heard of the group, obviously watching this video will make you have heard of the group. Join the group, get in on the fun, get in on the giveaways, participate, give back to the community, and get incentive to do so. It's a lot of fun.
Roc City Roots. Where can people find you? I'm gonna put it all in the show notes, but it's nice to hear it from your mouth as well.
Facebook for sure. Obviously at Roc City Roots, you can find me. You can find me at Ashley Miller on Facebook. You can also find the body shop at the Ashley's Body Shop VIP group on Facebook. And then by email, which I can post that in the comments.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ashley. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't wait to get you on. Honestly, I've been trying to make this happen for a little bit now. So I'm glad we finally got to do it. And hopefully we can have another chance to do this again sometime in the future.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been Ashley Miller of Roc City Roots and the Body Shop. Make sure you check out her pages. Make sure you give them a like and a follow. And then when you're done, go on over to ours and like and follow ours in case you haven't already, you know? Anyway, that's all we got for today, people. Don't forget to elevate your state of mind. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude, a closer look at community. I've been your host, Justin Closser, and this week's guest has been Ashley Miller of Roc City Roots Team and the Body Shop. You can find her on Facebook at Ashley's Body Shop VIP and Roc City Roots Team. Go on over to her pages, check them out, like, subscribe, follow, and then once you get done, if you haven't already, go on over to ours, like, subscribe, and follow those.